What's good, y'all? It's Crisco Fontaine. Appreciate you for pulling up to the stream. I really do appreciate it. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. We're about to get it started shortly, but hey, real quick, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, por favor. And then hit that bell right next to it so that you get notifications when I upload things of that nature. If you get any fulfillment, get any entertainment value whatsoever from this stream today, and whenever I'm streaming, hit the like button. And if you don't rock with it, you can hit the dislike button too. It's cool. It helps the channel either way, man. Okay? So feel free to comment, chat. I'll try to be as interactive as possible. Once again, I do appreciate you for tuning in to the stream. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Whatever is in there, I love you. Let's get into the stream. Let's get into the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that the camera is right and rolling. Everything's looking copacetic. Beard is looking crispy. What's good with y'all? I'm sorry. I got peanuts in my mouth. What's good with y'all? It's Crisco Fontaine, a.k.a. Coach Crisco. Thank you for pulling back up to the stream if you are in here or if you're watching the playback. I appreciate you. Real quick, let me go ahead and get all the particulars out the way. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, por favor. Not asking for any likes. Like if you want. Dislike if you want. It is what it is. You see the title. Let me clear my mouth. I'm sorry. This is real unprofessional of me. It's a Sunday. Not really professional on the weekends. So, I was thinking about defense. And how did I get on the thought process of defense? I think I was thinking of a video concept, and hey, how are you, Nisha? How are you? This is, these streams are about sports, right? So I don't know if this would be, and I got to figure out, I switched some things up because I do want to go back to streaming on Twitch too, but I didn't know if I was going to convolute my Twitch stuff, even though I hadn't been on Twitch for a minute, but yeah, this is about sports, Nisha. So just hit the support. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and then hit that bell next to it so you get notified of all videos when I upload. I'm pretty sure you are already a subscriber, but just trying to get that, programmed into my brain to say it, because I guess I'm a YouTuber now. I'm multitasking, by the way, because I am watching Boston and New York right now. Boston putting belt to ass. But I'm waiting for Golden State Dallas. They play next. So, multitasking. Have you been streaming? I haven't been getting any notifications if you have. And I ain't turning anything off, so. But no, I was thinking about defense, or the concept of defense last night, and I don't really understand how people can look at the product today and not have any I'm sorry. I didn't wait. They wait till now to want to play. It's over with. Not have any quorum with have not sick. What's wrong with you? Not have any quorums with how the game is played defensively. I for one am a defensive oriented individual. If you've seen any of my videos, then you can kind of get that vibe from me. If you've seen any of my breakdowns, you can kind of get that. I break down the game from a defensive standpoint, because when I played ball, I was more of a defender. Even though I could score, I was more of a defender, defensive minded. So defense to me is it's important. It's important not just to be able to outscore your opponent, but to also be able to stop them from scoring. And I think it's more demoralizing. It's way more demoralizing to stop someone from scoring than to score a bunch of points on them. That's just my opinion. So the fact that, defense isn't necessarily harped on, or maybe even practiced. I don't even think defense is practiced like it used to be when I was coming up. I remember being in basketball practice, and most of our drills was just basic line drills or footwork drills. It was defensive sliding. Um, the youth these days, they don't necessarily um, they don't they don't promote the fundamentals of basketball. It's more or less practice is a glorified shoot around. So for me, it's just kind of tough as an old head as I sit here at my big age, to now look at the game and see the game for what it is, but at the same time enjoy it thoroughly because I know how it's played on both sides of the ball and it's a bit lackluster. You can argue that it's a bit lackluster on both sides as the game offensively is more 3-point shooting, around the rim, buckets. The mid range game is, I'm not going to say it's obsolete because there's still a few top players that depend on the mid range shot. Shea Gildress, Anthony Edwards, which Anthony Edwards has kind of turned into a 3-point shooter. Yeah, there's still some mid range game. DeMar DeRozan still, he still exists. So, what's good with you? What's happening with you? How you doing? Appreciate you for pulling up. Thank you. Thank you. But as far as defense is concerned, it's just lackluster, man. I grew up in an era where when the plumbers and the electricians were playing, but they played defense, man. They played defense. MJ, Gary Payton, and you can even say John Stockton. I mean, he has the most steals in the history of the National Basketball Association. There's a reason for that. He was a decent defender. He's just really underrated because of the era that he played in. It's a little white guy. Nobody's thinking about a little white guy being able to play the game of basketball. Like Larry Bird was hyped because, he was a bigger guy, forward, 6'8", 6'9", whatever, and he could shoot. And he could shit talk. So, but outside of that, I mean, come on, man. You got to think back to the little white guys like Bob Cousy and Jerry West, man. Nobody checking for them. And in the 90s, if it wasn't Michael Jordan, it was nothing. So, Stockton, if he played in the 2000s, Stockton would have been Steve Nash. Steve Nash benefited because he was an anomaly. Like, he could hoop. And he was, the fairest of the fair skin. But defense was just at, an all-time premium. And even in the late 80s, which I was, too young. I was too young to I don't remember the late 80s. I'm old, but not that old. The defense was a bit different just because it was more physical. And, people would say, oh, well, they played defense like that back then. All you got to do is just hit somebody across the neck, knock them out the air. That's defense. Yeah. The defense is doing whatever you got to do to prevent the opposing team from scoring. I'm not saying that you got to touch them up, be all physical. I'm not saying that. But it's like polar opposites when you think of today's game and yesterday's game. And I'll say yesterday's game from a 25 to 30 year, I would say that's yesterday's game. Like early 90s, mid 90s. That's yesterday's game. So just from the perspective of defense, from the realm of defense, it's so much of a far cry from how the game is played today than how it was yesterday. I mean, it's horrible for me to look at today's NBA. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up something real quick. All I see in today's NBA is switch on the screen, get a big on you. The big is going to fall into drop coverage. Guard is going to penetrate. He's going to either pull up for a little floater, hit a guy for a lob, swing it out, force a full rotate, because nobody's fighting through screens. Everything is switched. You switching everything. And I'm not saying that they didn't switch like back in the day, because they did. But you couldn't just set up in the paint. You couldn't play. There was no zones in the NBA. Like you had to be attached to your man. If you left your man and you tried to stunt and feint and you went for a double team and you didn't fully commit, it's illegal defense. So, it was no just, oh, well, we're going to camp in the lane. Zone defense, bringing zone to the NBA was probably the worst thing that they could have done from a defensive perspective. If you watch college basketball, which I don't watch a whole lot of college basketball, but if you watch college basketball and you see how they set their defense up, if you really look at the guys that's on the court at that time, you can kind of see why they set the defense up that way. Because them niggas can't play no defense. Let's just keep it a buck. They can't play no defense. You get bailed out by running a zone, 2-3, whatever you want to run. You get bailed out of being able to one-on-one stop your man when you're in the zone because you got help on the backside. You don't even have to worry about it. You just stay in your zone. He leaves your zone. You don't follow him. Somebody else gonna pick him up. I don't know. I didn't grow up on that. I just wanna see some. Give me a second. Get out my ear. Get out my ear. Get off my ear. Let's see if I can find some defense. You know what? Let's do this. Let's see. Bear with me for a minute. This is the game? I don't think this is the game. I think I need a game too. All right, so I'm picking on this game just because this was the game. I have not been playing any video games lately. I've been either trying to film, to live stream, or I'm to not talk too much about my personal life. But I've been studying, like I've been taking some courses for some, like I could tell you off stream, but I've been taking some courses for some stuff that I might try to kind of slide into a career change. So I haven't been playing any video games as of late. The PlayStation got all kinds of dust on it right now. So let me see if I can. Do I need? Oh, I can do. I'm gonna pick on this game. I think this is the game. It may not be. Let's see. Do I want to go full screen or I want to? Let's just pull that out. All right. I think this is the game. Let's see. Let's just pull this one out and look at. Let me make that a little bigger. Okay. All right. Let's rewind that for a second. Just want to look at some of this defense because this is what I'm talking about right here. Now, Luka just abused these guys because they kept. Luka's just horrible on defense. Let's look at this for a second. Okay, so just pick on Luka real quick. So this is again what I'm talking about, the drop coverage. You see my cursor? You can't see my cursor. So PJ Washington is being screened. If you're going to switch, then I know you don't want to get beat. You don't want to get burnt if you're lively by Ant, but you got to be up. You got to be up closer than that. or if you PJ and you just got to fight through that a little bit harder so you can get back on your man. Cause you leaving him out high to dry. Like, I mean, that's a bucket right there. He wide open. He wide open. And Luka's in the no man's land. I mean, he isn't supposed to be help anyway. So I don't even know why he looked off like that. Like, he's looking at the bench. That's Minnesota's bench. So I don't even know why he looked over there. That's horrible. These Luka is one of the best players in the NBA. I think this is part of the reason why Wemby, while being a great defender, benefits a lot from this. He makes a lot of mistakes, but people can't really see it due to the scheme, the fact he's a decent number of blocks due to recovery, and he's long as hell. So I mean, he can recover easy, a whole lot easier, just due to his physical abilities, his length. But you can't be considered one of the best players in the NBA playing one side of the basketball. I love Luka. But if you are a superstar, to me, a superstar doesn't just mean you can score. That means you can at least hold your own on defense. People talk about Steph Curry and his defensive or lack thereof abilities, but Steph is going to at least give you some effort on defense. He gonna give you some effort. There's no way that this should have been a wide open shot. This was 2 wide open shots. Ant passed up a wide open mid range for a wide open 3. That's a wide open shot right there. And how Luka gets looked off, like, I mean, you're looking right at your man, sir. Like, you're looking right at him. This is a wide open shot. And you're looking right at him. So that should be cut off anyways. But Lively should be up higher than that. That's horrible. The Ant does a good job of staying attacked. But that's Kyrie. I mean, you kind of got to double him. Some players are just so special where I honestly think that you can't really one-on-one. Kyrie he's probably one of those players where one-on-one, you don't really stand a chance. Like you gotta kind of like elbow him in the head. You gotta concuss him a little bit for him to kind of stop, slow down, maintain him, so to speak, because one-on-one Kyrie is probably the most dangerous. I would say one of, I'm not gonna say the most, but one of the most dangerous individuals in the history of the National Basketball Association. What's that? I don't know. I'm waving at you. Maybe you got a little distracted. No, that's no excuse. You're getting paid millions. You're getting paid millions of dollars, like bukus. You don't get distracted. He just don't play no defense. He ain't focused over there. He's waiting for his possession so he can get the ball, back in his hands. That's it. I say I'd rather the enemy team take a 2 instead of a 3. Yeah, well, so today's NBA, that shot that Anthony Edwards had was is considered a low percentage shot, even though he's wide open. But it's a jump shot, and it's only 2 points. Now, analytics say if you're going to take a jump shot, then the best jump shot to take is a 3. Analytics. But yeah, I mean, Kyrie he's kind of one of them. You gotta just kick him in his kneecap or something. Backpedaling, he just walked right into the 3. So let me rewind that real quick. Go back some more. Okay, so I know this is a slight bit of a fast break, but if anybody follows the direction that I'm going in this instance, why is it low percentage? Just because it's 2? Yeah, because it's less points. That's the only reason why. That's what analytics say. It's low percentage because it's a 2, and it's a jump shot. They say if you're gonna get a bucket that's 2 points, it needs to be around the basket, layup, dunks. But if you're going to take a jump shot, then it should be a 3. But in this case right here, Anthony Edwards moving in transition. I wish I had my pad on me. Yeah, it's dumb. You got 1, 2, 3 defenders. I don't know if there's another guy. Maybe he's pointing for him to take McDaniels. Excuse me. Pointing for Kyrie to take McDaniels to the corner. Because I don't know if anybody's in the deep corner already. I'm assuming not. So he's telling him to take Jaden to the corner. And he's going to pick up Ant. But I grew up where, and that's my coaches taught me wrong. But when in transition, you stop the ball. So, like he didn't, to me, if I'm picking up Ant, let's say I'm picking up Ant, he got the ball now. This guy right here, I'm cutting that off. While 4 of them looking at the guy with the ball. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If I'm him, I'm cutting him off. Like I'm gonna cut that off before I'm getting in front of him before he even gets across half court. Stop the ball. That's how you stop transition. You stop the ball. None of these other guys right now are a threat unless he can pass it to him. And I'm gonna stop the ball. I'm gonna attempt to stop the ball and force him to make an errant pass. But you just running along with him. Get in front of him. Cut him off. Use your angles. You just let him just walk right into a transition 3. That's rhythm. Stop the ball. Again, it's Kyrie. I mean, I don't know what you can do with that. That's special. You got to shoot him. I don't really know. That's tough. That's tough. That's it. Damn drop coverage again. And oh, wait. Okay. So that was, let me see. The Ant is not looking. Mans is sneaky. And even slow-mo, just he's staying attached to Kai, but these two guys, they got to be in communication. He's just laser focused on Luka, and I mean that's what Luka does. But Luka got his defender in front of him, like he recovered. In this case, the drop coverage worked. You know, you stay in drop until you let Alexander Walker get back in front. He got him. Right now, Luka can't really do anything. But y'all gotta communicate. Like Ant is just lost right here. Nobody's communicating. That's part of the reason why defense is trash now too. Nobody's communicating. There's no communication. You got one guy up the top, and it's 2 guys right here. You know somebody's lost. Somebody's open it. And you can't see anybody over here. There's got to be a guy behind you. That can't happen. Yeah. It's horrible. Now, I know certain schemes, you watch certain tape, you know, you want to let some guys shoot. But this is the NBA. You know, Luka steps, yes. Okay, cool. You step up, you help defense right there. But this guy shoots the 3-point shot hella slow, okay? Your tapes may tell you, okay, if Kyle Anderson gets the ball, let him shoot. But when a guy takes this long, to shoot, you don't want to at least try to run out and contest? He didn't even try. He just said, okay, well, I'm going to let you shoot it. By the time he shot it, Luka ain't the fastest, but Luka probably could have ran out and contested, at least detoured him from even wanting to shoot. He probably could have stopped that shot from happening. That is, this doesn't make no damn sense. It would make no sense at all. That's Ant one. Again, it's 2-on-1. That's 2-on-1. Well, he played that decently. Okay. Well, I mean, that's neither here nor there. You know, that's kind of what I was alluding to as far as you didn't know what to do. No, you're professional. You're supposed to know that we give these professionals way too much grace. At the end of the day, give them way too much grace. They make way too much money, and to say, oh well, he just got lost on the play. No, you can't afford to get lost on the play. I'm a team owner, and you know, my best player is, you know, he's great offensively, but defensively he's horrible, to the point where we have to put pieces in place to hide him on defense. We gotta do something. Maybe that's why Dallas did decide to trade Luka. I don't know, but not to just pick on Luka, because he's not the only one in today's NBA that's not playing defense. But it's just a lost art. Defense as a whole is a lost art, and it's unfortunate that bear with me real quick. It's unfortunate that for whatever reason, man, what the hell? For whatever reason, it's just not. I guess it's not sexy to play defense. Rookies in second year get some grace because they don't know NBA defense yet. After that, it's all on them and the coaching staff. Yeah. But what is NBA defense? I mean, what is there to know? I mean, that is, you can always fall back to a zone. You got that as a crutch. If you're a team that just all around don't or not equipped to play one-on-one defense or man defense, it's just run zone. But it's different. It's difficult to run zone when teams are shooting 40, 45, 53s a game. You know, you beat the zone from shooting and passing for the most part. You know, that's how you penetrate a zone, is with the pass. And that's something that I've seen the last. I'm multitasking. Golden State Dallas is about to kick off. And damn, I wanted to go to. They was here on the 12th. I wanted to go to that game. I did. Didn't work out for me. But that's one thing that I have noticed in the 5 games now that Jimmy is with Golden State. They met some zones. I want to say maybe it was the Chicago game. Maybe it was the Milwaukee game. Maybe the Milwaukee game I'm thinking about. But they ran a zone on Golden State, and Jimmy is great in breaking the zone. Like, he's gonna get to the nail, and all he got to do is flash to the nail, put his hands up, give him the ball, and he can make a play. He's gonna like force himself in the paint, and somebody can cut backdoor. Boom, he's gonna hit the pass. Boom, lob. Boom, something. So you got some players that can break that zone. But I mean, if I'm a coach and I got guys that I can't depend on to go out and get a stop, like, just guard your man, that's a problem. That's a problem for me. But again, I'm nobody. I'm just a guy that makes videos. Let's see. Team full of shooters, no skills in defense, none whatsoever. And I don't know if it's coaching or if it's just the players, the effort that the players don't want to give, and no accountability. Maybe they're now too comfortable with the players they have, so they aren't tough on their players. It's too much money. I think that's the biggest thing. It's too much. What the Cavs, Thunder, and Celtics are doing, the best example of NBA defense. I agree, especially the Thunder. They play great defense. Okay, now Golden State, don't let these boys come out and dominate you. The Thunder play great defense. They play great team defense too, but they got some guys that can play individual defense as well. I had this one video that I wanted to watch. This is from Gil's Arena. It is Joakim Noah talking about the real reason the NBA has no more elite defenders. I wanted to check this out. I have not seen this video. I don't want to watch the entire video just because I don't really like watching, people's entire videos. Sorry, multitask. Jimmy need to score like 35 tonight or today. Jimmy need 35. Steph need 30. They gotta win this. I'm starting to become a diehard Golden State fan. So I'm gonna check a little bit of this video out, and I'm curious to know why Joakim Noah doesn't believe that. He said he doesn't believe that the defense is that much of a drop off. Give me a second to make sure that I thought I had it muted. Okay. Let's see what he got to say.
What do you think about the current offensive explosion in the league, and has defense been devalued in the current game?
Man, I don't think so, man. I think the game is just different. And you got to respect what the guys are doing right now. It's a different era. We have our mindset towards the game, but overall, I think the game is in good hands.
And what do you say to people who say that defense isn't what it used to be? Is the offense just that good, or offensive player just that good nowadays? We see 1 through 5 shooting threes. We see just.
Is my video lagging? I've been having issues with this audio for a minute. I don't think it's this video. I think it's my capture card. Hang on a second. Give me a moment, blah, blah, blah. Let me see. Does that do something? Let's see if that changes something.
There's a lot of different changes.
I think the offenses are more complicated. It's a completely different game. There's no post up. I don't even see hook shots no more.
It is my capture card. No, there is no more hook shots, sir. Hang on. Let me see something real quick. Don't you start today. Don't you start. Not on Sunday. Monday through Friday, you can give me some trouble, but don't do it on Sunday. Don't do it to me.
So it's a different game. Like, Wemby's 7'4", moving like that.
We've
never seen that before. So overall, I think.
Holy. Well, this is what happens when you working with hood equipment. About to hit up Amazon expeditiously. Need a new capture card. Need a whole new capture card. We're gonna see if I can get through a little bit more of this though.
I think there's a lot of talent in this league. It's a lot more individually based. Guys are doing their individual workouts. They're talking about streaming. Guys aren't watching games the same way. It's all about highlights. It's like the work ethic, really studying the game. I think that's going to be the problem right now.
Do you think defense is at a disadvantage because of the creativity in offense? Like with the defense, there's no new things that can be added to help you guys defensively. So for an offensive guy, if I know what you can only do, does it help out the offense a little bit more?
I just think when you talk about spacing, that's really what the difference is in the last 10 years. I think the spacing thing is crazy. If you're a big man, you got to be able to guard a one coming off a pick and roll. Like, that's where the money is.
That's a fact.
I feel like, the spacing is what the difference is.
I think it.
But so to piggyback on Gil's question, in my opinion, I think what he said that the new things that have been added offensively, what you can do offensively. Let's keep it a buck. They don't call nothing anymore. Like you can traveling and you have to take more than 3 steps now for them to blow the whistle on the travel. Pretty much everybody palms or carries. If I can play great defense for 15, 16 seconds, once you get across half court and play great defense for, 15 seconds or whatever, and you do a step back, and I guess the step back because I'm counting two steps, and I'm from an era where 2 steps you had to do something, but then you make an extra step, and I'm guessing off of 2 steps. It's hard to you trying to you have to program yourself to why are you thinking into, okay, well, this guy has an extra step now. So I can't just gauge how I play defense based off of rules that were kind of in place when defense was at its highest. For me, that is like you look at somebody like James Harden when his step back was like a cheat code, but to me, every time he did it was a travel. And maybe I'm old, maybe I don't know the game of basketball, I don't know. But every time he did a step back, it was a travel. He traveled. This man took 3 to 4 steps every time. Like it's like, okay, he got to gather, then he got 2 steps, and then he got another step, and then he can shoot. It's like you can't really. That's so much space you can create if you are given the opportunity to take an additional step. So if you letting the offensive player travel every damn time, yeah, of course it's hard to defend that. It's hard to defend that. But what Joakim said about the big man, you got like Rudy Gobert. He's won the defensive player of the year, 3 times, 4 times? But if you get him out on the island against the guard, he's barbecue chicken. Like he cannot defend a 1 or 2. In the paint, defending the rim, yeah. But if you get him on a switch, it's wraps. If you are an elite defender, you have to be more than a shot blocker. You can't just be a rim deterrent. You have to have the ability to check somebody on ball. Pause. You just have to. Like even if you go back to say a Hakeem Olajuwon, Hakeem was still solid if he switched on to a guard. Now, you can also say that those guards back then weren't as elusive and as athletic as the guards are today. That's accurate. But still, I think Hakeem's game, I would say maybe Giannis is kind of similar to Hakeem in today's NBA, just, because it's a bit different. If Hakeem played today, he would play similar to what Giannis played like. Same with David Robinson, prime David Robinson, elite defender. If David Robinson played today, he would play similar to how Giannis plays, in my opinion. Because David Robinson can run the floor with the ball. Hakeem could too. And prime Shaq, Orlando Shaq, same thing. So the bigs back then, they could hold their own, I think, a little bit better against guards, or smaller guards. But also, back then, they didn't do a whole lot of switching. Like, guards fought through screens. Like, if I'm a fight through, I'm going to put the onus on the officials to make a call if I run this dude over. He's setting the screen. If I run through this pick, I'm going to put the onus on the officials to make a call. They fought through screens. They didn't switch unless absolutely necessary. So, I don't know. See, imagine the prompt Carmelo had an additional step. I'm saying. That's why AD is extremely underappreciated. Yes. It is crazy that he has never won a defensive player of the year. It's crazy that Scottie Pippen never won a defensive player of the year. It's ridiculous. Let's check it out a little bit more of this. Might skip through a few.
I think it's all cap.
You think it's all cap, cemetery later?
All cap.
What is all cap?
All cap. We're not teaching defense like we teaching offense, so how could defense catch up?
That's
we
a fact.
Paying attention to defense.
That's a fact.
Paying attention to offense. So
That's
how
a fact.
Are we supposed to give it respect? We sit up here, we talk about 30 a game, all the assists, all this. We don't talk about deflections. We don't talk about how you got to make a guy V cut, how you got to make it harder on the defense. We don't have guys going back to teach guys how to play defense
That's a
against
fact.
the new offensive game.
That's a fact.
You got new moves, new offense. Okay, why we don't got new ways to stop it? I mean, I got some solutions, but it goes back to fundamental defense. Foundation of fundamental defense. Deny the ball. What happens when you deny the ball? They got to change the offense, don't they?
Got a question. Got a question. Hold on, let me get it down. When we talk about the influence of basketball, I say I've seen so many Mount Rushmores of like just basketball influence. And most of the time I see, when they say like the most influential, not necessarily the GOAT, who's the best and all that. I'm not talking about that. Come on, Golden State. Come on, Golden State. 13-0 run, fellas. Not necessarily who's the GOAT, but who's the most influential. And more times than not, I see Mike, I see Kobe, I see Bron, and I see Steph. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue any of them. You can argue maybe Bron because it's like, okay, what did he really influence? But I'm not even gonna argue that. Let's just go with those four. So if those four are the most influential to ever play in the National Basketball Association, what about those four? What stands out about those four? If those are the most influential, and kids are looking at those as like the staple of how they want to mold their games, if they're little ball players, little basketball players, they go out in the front lawn and they shoot and they play and they try to hone their skills, and they're molding their game, and then they're looking at, Mike, and they're looking at Kobe, and they're looking at Bron, and they're looking at Steph. If they're looking at these guys, what stands out, like as far as their game being molded? Let's just say if it's a little kid that's trying to mold his game after Steph Curry, what is he trying to do? He's trying to shoot 30-footers. His little ass arms, he can't even reach the rim. He's trying to shoot 30-foot shots. He's not working on no defensive slides. He's not working on anything as far as fundamentals of how you play the game on the defensive side. He ain't working on none of that. He's just shooting threes. That's what's sexy. It's sexy to be able to shoot 30, 35-foot three-point shots. What chicks dig the long balls, they say, right? So ain't nobody thinking about, oh well, let me do some defensive slides. Let me practice on my footwork. Let me practice on my footwork. MJ, immaculate footwork. Kobe, immaculate footwork. Bron, Steph, decent. Handles is tight. So yeah, I mean, it's easy to go out, pick up a basketball, and shoot a jumper. If you've never picked up a basketball, if you meet somebody and they've never picked up a ball ever in their life, and you throw them a basketball, take them to a court, and you say, here, what do you think the first thing that they're going to do? They're going to shoot the ball. And then they're going to maybe go for the rebound their own, shot, and then go and shoot the ball again. They're not going to ask questions about, okay, well, I'm shooting the ball, but what happens if somebody else is shooting the ball? How do I stop them? They're not asking those questions, and nobody's telling them how to do these things. So I'm with Shad on this. They're not practicing. Nobody's teaching. There's no paying it forward. And we've gotten so far away from the era that was more so on defense that now everything else that is, sequentially is all offense. So offense is going to be passed down. It's going to continue to evolve. But defense is just stagnant because nobody has passed that along either. Big man, in order for a big man to be on the floor and not being played off the court, at this point he has to be able to shoot outside shots. I don't know too many big men that play 25, 30, 35 minutes a night that can't shoot threes. I don't know any. They just have an inside game, inside presence, and just a defender. I don't even think Gobert plays 35 a night. You know, they'll have Randall and Reed out there. Those are two, stretch fours. So, but no, they're not teaching. They're not teaching defense. Let's see. Here's where I got to cook him. Yeah, if he's taking the stance, then he needs to go out his way and shine light on defense and start talking about MVPs and all the NBA with defense included, because I don't see it. Braun mastered the ability of applied IQ progressing his game. Braun plays glorified bully ball. No hate on LeBron. I don't have anything to say negative about LeBron anymore. One second. Got to check the text message from the missus. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about LeBron negatively anymore. But again, LeBron is never somebody that I looked at as an elite defender either. He can chase down blocks, yeah. You can catch anybody slipping from behind. Pause. Listen to a little bit more.
Backdoor. What's help for? Elbows and boxes. I'm in help. He can't backdoor, even if my guys is helping. How'd you change the offense? That's 5 seconds off the shot clock. It's only 14 when you cross half court.
16 now.
And Kenny, what do you think about
we play 11 seconds of defense. We good.
I just said that. I just said that, shot. But at the same time, if you play 11 seconds of great defense, and you got somebody that can do a quick little step back, but he can take an extra step or two, all that shit goes out the window. When you just play 12, 13 seconds of great defense, and this man can step back and shoot a 27-footer and get an extra step to get some extra space, and I can't contest. I closed out on two steps. He took 4 steps. Officials right there, holding his hand up. Man, you look at his feet.
Defense, they in the 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So you're talking about team defense or individual?
I'm talking about individual effort, team scheme, team strategy, going back to the foundation of real defense. If James Harden can come up with a move to dominate the game, why can't we defend it? Why he can't come up with a defensive strategy to stop it?
So that's what I was.
Man, I need to be on this show. He just said the same shit I did. I swear I ain't watched this video. I was asking. You have to be able to play team and individual defense, but individual defense to me comes first. If you are, let me put me in this instance. If I'm out and I'm guarding, say I'm guarding Jalen Brunson, and I got my teammates behind me. I got 4 behind me for sure, but it's on me to at least put effort into be able to contain my guy. You're supposed to be able to check your guy. The team aspect of it comes when you do need help defense. Because, everybody needs help from time to time. I mean, Michael Jordan, one of the best on-ball perimeter defenders, he needed help from time to time. Everybody needs help. Sometimes you get beat or you get out of position. You need some help. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Teams are depending on help defense first. Like, but damn, being able to check your man and hold your position. Damn all that. They're depending on help defense first. I know I got help on the backside. If I'm playing with a guy like Rudy Gobert, which I know if I just let him go to the paint, he gonna clean all that up for me. If I'm playing with Wemby, I know if I get beat and he gets down to the paint, he gonna clean all that up for me. There's no pride as a defender, perimeter defender, to stop your man, to shut him down. There's no pride in that. The pride is, I'm gonna put 30, I'm gonna put 35 on his head. That's the pride. The pride is from the offensive side. I'm about to give him buckets. He's a bucket getter. Nobody talk about, oh man, he's a lockdown. It's not sexy. That's why somebody's game like Kawhi Leonard, if he's healthy, that's why he's one of the best players in the league, because he does it on both sides. Elite level offense, elite level defense. Anthony Davis, street clothes. Whenever he's on the court and he's healthy, elite. And his consistency is a little bit shaky, but elite level. Giannis plays elite. His offense is, I guess running gun. Just kind of get a running start, head down, get to the basket. But defensively, cleans up a lot of mess. On ball, I mean, he gets beat sometimes too, but he can clean it up because he's got that length. I don't know. I think that it's just because it's not sexy. You know what I'm saying? It's not. There's no pride. There's no pride. I don't even think people really care if they get shook and they touch earth. It's not even a big thing. That was the worst thing when I played, if I just played pickup ball or even when I was in organized sports, if you got crossed over, and I mean crossed over bad, man, you got talked about for a while. Like that was something that that's hard to come back. I've seen people like change schools because they got crossed over too bad. They still went to a whole nother district. Like that, they don't even. It's not even a big deal now. You get crossed over. We forgot about it because he scored 47. This man hit 17 threes tonight, but he got crossed over real bad. No, he hit 17 threes, dog. I don't know, man. I don't know. So still a little bit more.
The principles of defense from when the game started has been the same, right? Below the free throw line, you push them a certain way. Closing out a certain way, jumping straight up a certain way, hand bar. Like, it's all been the same principles, right? The only thing that's changed since the game has started is offense, allowing a carry a little bit,
Yeah, that's right. You allowing all this. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm talking about defense, and I'm looking at Golden State and Dallas right now, and Golden State right now is playing elite defense. They're playing elite defense. They just forced a turnover. Dude got a block. Went down, laid it up. Dallas came back down the court. Forced a turnover, came back down. Now Jimmy at the free throw line. Elite defense is what I'm talking about. But Gil is saying exactly. I don't have to play too much more of this. Gil is saying exactly what I said basically. I mean, you allowing a lot more to get through the cracks from the offensive standpoint. You're not allowing any of that from defense. I can't put my hands on you. I can't touch you. I can't feel on you. I can't caress you. I can't do none of that. Defensively, just talking from the perspective of playing basketball here. I can't do any of that. But this man can take 4 or 5 steps and it's cool. He can take 3 steps before he even put the ball on the floor. It makes no sense to me. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. But again, I'm just a guy that's live streaming on YouTube. I'm not gonna hold you too long. This isn't a long stream. I didn't want this to be a long stream because I'm about to deep dive into this game right now. Jimmy, knock that down. Nope. I'm about to deep dive into this game right now, but I do appreciate. Come on, buddy. I do appreciate everybody that pulled up and then all the ones that chatted in the chat. I think it's opposite. I think these players are afraid of getting shown up by each other, especially the new generation. Getting showed up how exactly? When you say afraid of getting showed up from a scoring standpoint, to me, if they was really afraid of being shown up or whatever the case may be, then you would see more pride on the defensive side. Like, don't nobody even slap the floor no more. Fun fact, whenever I saw somebody slap the floor on defense, to me, it made it seem like they couldn't play defense. They were just trying to use an intimidation factor. None of that actually worked. Appreciate you for pulling up to the stream. I'm gonna let y'all dip. Enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna do the same. Find me something to eat. watch the rest of this game. Appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the stream, give it a thumbs up. Also, appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. See you on the next one.